都是五湖四海来，就是说不一定都是从 Johns Creek 来的吧？像我就是从这个 Sandy Spring， 我从 Sandy Spring 慕名而来。OK， 我不认识 Jay Lin。OK， 我相信你们很多人也是以前都不认识，对不对？然后因为 Jay Lin 的团队，我从他团队开始，像包括肖宇啊、老钱啊、王麦克啊、伊玛了等等，我看到哇，是什么人有这么强的一个团队？强将手下无弱兵嘛，我们都知道，对吧？然后这些人他愿意给 Jay Lin 来做，愿意做他的团队，表示他一定有什么地方去感动了他们，是不是这样子啊？
是，没错。
肖宇，你说是不是？
是。
我已经今天如果说我说我要出来选议员的话，你绝对摇摇头，你说你自己干吧，对不对 ？OK， 所以说我们现在呢就来听听看我们这未来的林议员 ，OK， 先来给我们讲几句话，好不好？好。来，热烈掌声。
我首先代表这个我们的竞选团队，跟各位来宾说谢谢你，谢谢你们今天这么样的支持。那么我3个月以前，我们决定参加这个 Johns Creek 市议员的竞选的时候，很多人都告诉我说，这个 Jay 你很勇敢，勇气可嘉。当时呢，我不知道是什么意思。但是现在3个月之后，我可以告诉你，我现在完全可以了解这个当初他们说你很勇敢是什么意思。那么的确，其中酸甜苦辣这个是有很多的这个经历，但是我很珍惜这些经历，因为在这个整个过程之中交到了很多朋友，那么也看到这些朋友对我的支持。我想告诉你，告诉大家就是。参加 Johns Creek 市议员的选举，我希望大家能够把它当成不是我Jay Lin个人的事情，而是为华人在 Johns Creek 一个有代表性的这个发声的这个管道。我们在这一次11月3号的选举的时候，我们为这个发声的管道做出一个行动。那么这个行动呢，也是就是希望大家呼吁，在 Johns Creek 的所有的朋友们，到时候11月3号主动出去投票。华人的参与是为我们下一代铺路，华人的参与是目前是非常重要，尤其在我们这个乔治亚州，目前在华人参政的这个比例上是非常低。那我希望。借由这次参政的这个过程呢，达到一个抛砖引玉的作用，希望能够让更多年轻有为的华裔美人努力参与这个美国政治，因为唯有在主流政治中脱颖而出，我们才能在这个，因为现在所有这个政治上的政策基本上是立法。这些政策所定。如果我们在里面没有代表性的话，那么也就是说，我们在这个未来的这个立法的过程中没有代表，没有声音。那么我希望各位11月3号能够不但自己出来投票，而且能够影响到您的邻居、您的朋友，他如果是Johns Creek的市民，希望你们鼓励他出来参加。谢谢。For the sake of our American friends, I just want to say a few words that I'd like to.
My Mandarin is really picking up.
I want to introduce two very important people in the. I think most of you, being Chinese, that you know our core team and volunteers that they have been working relentlessly for the campaign, and I'm very, very grateful. But I also want to introduce two individuals that are also very instrumental, Greg Williams and Mark Roundtree. Greg, can you come to the front, please, and Mark?
I'm going to speak in Cantonese, if that's okay.
Okay.
Stay together, please. Yeah. I mean, Mark.
Well, I'd like to say Mark Roundtree, he's the owner of Landmark Communication. Before we retain, it's a political consulting firm, that before we retain Landmark, that I have multiple people that have suggested and recommended Mark's service. So we retained Landmark's service in the last, I think, the last 4 months. And I can't say enough about how good this experience has been. And Mark is extremely good with the strategy and has offered many good suggestions for our campaign. Mark, can you say a couple words?
I'd like to.
Please do.
I'd like to.
All right.
May I take the...
Yeah. That's enough there.
So, my name is Mark Roundtree, and I'm here to support Jay, not just work for him. Jay is the right kind of person to run for office in Johns Creek. If I could, I would like to just ask for a moment, everyone to hush the voices. I'd like to ask everyone to listen to what I have to say, because this is about you. What I have to say is actually about you. How many of you have felt detached and apart from the political process here? Not just because of coming here as Asians new to the United States, but how many of you just feel like when you read the newspaper, politicians don't listen to the American people? How many of you feel that way? Raise your hand. A lot of us feel that way. Here's my question to you. There are very few people that it takes to win this election. Very few people win. I want to use an example. Just 3,000 people will win this election. If 3,000 people will come vote for Jay, he will win this election. We're going to have 200 of them here today, I hope. Now, here's what I want to do. I want to do an exercise with you to show you how few people it actually takes to win this election. There are about 80,000, there's almost 90,000 people that live in Johns Creek. 90,000, okay? 90,000 people live here. Of those, 53,000 are registered to vote. Around half are registered to vote. But of those, only 43,000 have ever voted. 43,000 have ever voted. And only 6,000 will vote this November. 43,000 have ever voted. But in a city election, very few people vote. 6,000 will vote in November. That means 3,000 people wins for Jay. So here's my exercise for you. I want to show you how few people actually vote so that when Jay and Yale and the team asks for your help, that you know that it matters in the election. Here's my question. Now, this is an exercise. If everyone could please raise their hand. Everyone, please raise their hand. We're going to pretend, this is Johns Creek. These are all the residents of Johns Creek, everyone in this city. This is 90,000 people, but only 57,000 have ever registered to vote. So that means from Greg all the way over to here, you are not even registered to vote. You may all put down your hands over here. Please keep your hands up over here. All right? These people, they've never registered to vote. The politicians, I promise you the politicians don't care what they think if they don't register to vote. You people no longer matter because you're not registered to vote. Now, of those, from here over, you're registered to vote, right? You get to decide who wins the election, right? No, you don't. Because only 43,000 of you have ever voted. So we're going to wipe out. These people are registered to vote, but have never voted. Over to here. Please put down your hands. You have never voted, so the politicians don't care what you think. They don't care what you think about zoning. They don't care what you think about taxes. They don't care what you think about your schools. And they don't care what you think about public safety. Because you are not registered to vote, and you have never voted. You guys, you matter, right? You're registered to vote and you have voted, right? You get to decide who wins this November, right?
Right.
Not really. Because only 6,000 of you will vote. 6,000 out of 43,000. That's only about 15%. So of all of these people, all the way over, you put down your hands. Because these people, just like our Johns Creek friends, they're not going to go vote no matter what. We can knock on their doors, we can mail them letters, we can make phone calls to them. You can go to their house, and you can go to their house, and they don't vote anyway. You decide. See how few actually it takes to win? Now, we only need half of you. So from everybody here over, you can put down your hands. You're voting for someone else. We don't care. So, this is how few people. Put your hands up high, because these are the people that will elect Jay Lin. And you are the people that will elect Jay Lin. Almost 10% of everyone we need to win this election is standing in this room. If each of you go out and find 10 people to vote, 10, Jay wins with no runoff. That's how few people vote. So when you are asked to donate dollars, when you are asked to make phone calls, when you are asked to go door to door, that's what we need. You need to find 10 people to join you, of everyone in Johns Creek. Thank you very much. I just wanted to show you that what you are here today doing matters. And what you will do in the campaign does matter. Register to vote, get people to register to vote, and please go knock on doors, donate dollars to Jay, and make phone calls. And thank you very much, Jay.
I got a feeling that Mark is going to be my very, very good friend in the next few months. Now, I'd like to have Greg to speak a few words, please.
Mark's will certainly be a great friend, but also a great enemy too, when he's making you go door to door in late August. Be a little careful there. My name's Greg Williams, and I had the privilege of meeting Jay about a year ago, and we just have a lot in common as far as political philosophy. And the funny thing is that this race for city council, we're not going to be running as Republicans or Democrats. We're going to be running as common sense problem solvers. Now, a lot of times people get confused when you're running for city council. They'll tell Jay that you need to stop federal government spending. He's like, well, I'm running for city council, not Congress. So it's extremely important that y'all pay attention to the campaign, because city council has a much bigger impact on your day-to-day lives than the federal government. They're the city council is the one that says that church is going to be built, or that office park is going to be built, or not built, as the case may be. So I'm looking forward to working with you guys. We clearly have a lot of spirit here, and I appreciate Jay giving me the opportunity. Thank you guys very much. And we wanted to welcome the newest House representative, Dr. Betty Price, who actually is a landmark client as well, and just won her election without a runoff about a month ago, right, Dr. Price? 2 weeks ago. Okay, sorry. Okay. I guess I'm still the master of ceremony. Y'all heard any good jokes, man? Yeah. How many people actually live in Johns Creek? Okay, so a pretty good turnout. Do y'all know if y'all are in Zone 2, the actual district? Because there's, I think, 5 or 6 zones, and people need to look. We'll have a big precinct map printed up, and Mark is going to be able to supply us with large. What's that?
At large. So every.
Oh,
you're running a lot.
Okay, cool.
Right.
大家好，我想呢咱们给 Eddie Price 1-2分钟的准备一下，我们把我们竞选团队是站出好，我们老钱，还有那个 Jay， 那个老钱 Mike、Roy， 大家这可能不是很熟 ，Roy、Emma、王军，这个顾小刚 ，and Andy 方 ，Andy 呢？ 是不是会那个送外卖的？给他送外卖，
刚才去送
啊，对这儿。我们很多，其实这只是一部分，我们在我们的大区。
能不能够再靠近一点 ？Thank you。
我们很多这个，我们实际我们 support 在我们这个大群里头有300多人，每个人都是我们竞选团队，每个都是。
麦克风上去点，听不见。麦克风上不去。
每个人都是我们竞选团队，所以，那么我想呢，趁这个机会，我想着说简单点，因为我只是给这 fill up time。我们竞选，今天大家注意，我们第一个 word，we're fundraising party，we are appreciation party， 什么意思呢？就是说我们竞选不是竞标，并不是说我们把钱raise all the money will win a seat，we're not。There's 2 things I want to point out. Number 1, when you make a donation, I know you're gonna come out to vote. I know you have decided to participate in this political process. That's the message I get from you. Your $20, your $10, your $50 donation tells me that you're gonna go to vote on November 3rd. That's the message I want to know. And also, your donation, your support, telling us as a team, we're gonna work as hard as we can. We are determined to win this election. That's a message I want to get everyone. That's the motivation. You motivate us, you put on the hot spot, we are determined to win this election. So that for that, we thank you everybody for coming. Okay. Now, pass my microphone to Betty. Betty, everybody, she's a doctor, and Tom Price is our representative, U.S. representative. They both are doctors. They're both doctors, and I want to tell a little bit why obviously you have a wealthy life, you have to make a lot of money, but why you are deciding to come out to run for office to support Georgia. She just elected, everybody knows her. She just 2 weeks ago just elected the state house, our state house representative.
Thank you. I'm so happy to be here today on behalf of Jay Lin, the next Johns Creek City Council member. It's very, very important, as you know, to get involved in the electoral process. I personally am a first-generation American. So I came to this country when I was about 5 years old from Canada. And I sometimes think that when people are new to this country, they appreciate it more and they work harder to enjoy the freedoms that we have in this country. And I feel for myself that that is true, and my whole life in this country has been one of great excitement, great expectation, getting an education and getting to work. As was said, I was a physician at Brady Hospital is where I trained downtown Atlanta. I met my husband, Tom Price, there. He was studying orthopedics. I was studying anesthesiology. We got married, moved to Roswell, and then one thing leads to another, and you have children, and then medicine got very difficult to practice. And my husband said, I can do more for the practice of medicine and for patients as an elected official where the rules are being made. So he went into the state Senate, and now he's in the U.S. Congress. And then in the meantime, I said, yeah, I can do some more than being just a doctor. So I go on to city council in Roswell until 2 months ago. And 2 months ago, a seat opened up at the state legislature in the House, so I decided to run for the state legislature. And with Mark's help and with good voters and good support, I was able to get elected to the state House. And that's what it takes. It takes helpers, it takes money, and it takes good organization. It's very obvious that Jay Lin has got a great organization, lots of support. We hope you're writing checks, lots of money. And this way, we will assure with him getting started so early that he will be successful. So it is very important to get involved, sometimes these races have very few people actually go to vote. In my race, there were only, out of 55,000 people, only less than 3,000 people voted, 2,600 people voted. A very small number of people voted. So that's why everybody's vote makes that much more difference. And if each person in this room got 10 people to vote, I think he wins automatically. So 10 people, each one gets 10 people, you can't count twice. Each person gets 10 individual, new, separate voters, and Jay Lin wins. So it's so reachable. It's not unreachable. It's very reachable. So I really am excited to be here, excited to see his candidacy, and to see him so well organized and doing so well. And I wish him well as the next City Council member of Johns Creek. And thank you all for coming. I appreciate it.
Hey, do you mind that we'll drive out team together and show some people really? All right.